Hey there, Postal here. So today we are taking out the IL-40. This is a Tier 9 Soviet ground attacker. Why are we doing that? Well, we're trying to get the Flying Exterminator badge. What the frig is the Flying Exterminator badge? Well, it's the third from the last mission for Elise Clark. And we need to get 400 capture points while destroying ground targets. You could also get the Flying Exterminator badge by getting 550 capture points while flying a bomber. I'm not the best bomber pilot. I can do it. I've done it, but it's easier for me in a ground attacker. So let's keep it simple, stupid. We've only got one P-61 ruining this game, so hopefully that will not be too much to completely ruin our chances. Tried to foolishly do this in a tier 8 ground attacker because I'm an idiot, and of course just kept running into B-29s and P-61s, so it's my own fault. I should know. The game is slowly dying because freaking P-61s, but we'll see. Holding out hope that somehow it doesn't. It's really quite a shame. Warplanes has been trending up recently, and then they do something like that. Putting a completely overpowered heavy fighter in the game, and just making the game not fun. Even if I'm in my P-61, which I don't fly in anymore unless it's requested, it's not even fun, because it's not difficult. I don't know. I was never the kind of person that put put the game on easy mode when I was playing Tekken and stuff like that. I had some friends that did that. I never found that entertaining. Like, what's the point of just winning if you don't even have to try? So I guess everybody's got different thought processes, though. And like I said, we're going to try to take advantage of the fact that we've got minimal negative impacts here. We've got a fighter inbound, though. P-51, doing P-51 things. There we go, this is now ours. Can I get rid of this pig? No. Let's go ahead and... Oh, is he right behind me? I didn't realize. No, he's not. Let's go ahead and try to get to the center here. Got some boost going on. Angling up. Let's go ahead and do that. Ooh, almost at a boost. Almost at a boost. I've got a 228 on our team, but he's not doing so well yet. 228 can do pretty well against P-61 simply because he got so much speed, right? It's kind of a shame that you're going to talk about the tier 9s that can do well against it, but hey, whatever floats boats. Let's see if I can do one bomb here. Will that work? My engines got knocked out. Very cool. See if we can try not to die here. Ooh, can I get some wrench? That would be nice. Yeah, here we go. Let's get heals. Can I? Excellent. I will totally take that. Straighten back out. Let's get up to at least 200 miles an hour. For the love of everything is holy. We're going to head on over to the mining facility. Unfortunately, they got a garrison back already. We need to get the mining facility just to stick in this game. We're up on capture points, but everybody knows, I should know, mining facility is going to flip over and get a whole crap ton of capture points soon. We're already halfway to the Flying Exterminator badge, so let's go ahead and try to get the other half here. We won't be able to get the other half with one sector cap, but we can certainly try to do what we can try to do. Let's get off the trigger here. There we go. just gonna drop a bomb here and we'll figure it out afterwards. There we go. What do we got going on here? Ooh, we can knock that out. With relative ease. There's nothing inbound on the map, so that's nice. Got that, so that's nice. So we'll just keep cleaning up. We'll play cleanup. I don't mind playing cleanup. I'm okay cleaning. If he doesn't pay attention to us for long enough, we might have a chance, which we did. Nice. We're gonna stall out here though. Turn over, turn over. Unfortunately, this is the only sector that we own anymore. So let's move along. I'm sure he's going to spawn in the center. P-61s are very, very good at holding sectors. I mean, they're basically fighters with 4 20mm cannons and a turret, right? And significantly better boost ability. You know what? They're just good at defending sectors. Let's leave it at that. So I'm going to hit the F7 here so we can get some people covering my booty. And we're going to see what we can do. Trying to get these knocked out. Ooh, that in the second rocket might be a little bit... Okay, good. If I can knock out some turrets here. Can keep us alive a little bit longer, plus help capture sectors. I'm going to try to hang on to my bomb if at all possible. Unfortunately, everything else seems to be dying in this sector. So we might need to... We're going to have to drop the bomb here. Ugh, stop dying, everybody. So we've got the Flying Exterminator badge. Now we're going to try to get the... Did I just drop a bomb accidentally? I did. And now I'm totally dead. Yep. And that's game. Just not able to overcome the odds and bad timing on the death. But we got Flying Exterminator badge. First go. Well, first go in this plane. I did go out in some in the NC-1070 before this and just got melted down by all the plethora of P-61s. I didn't even know you could have 3 on one team, but I guess, you know, cool. So we were able to get the Flying Exterminator badge here. Again, I prefer ground attackers. They tend to be a little bit more flexible with that process. Didn't get the win out of it, but we did okay. Let's head back. All right, so we got Flying Exterminator badge as soon as I moved out of, you know, the stupid tiers. Personally, I wouldn't do tier 8. Tier 7 and tier 9, you're still asking for trouble just because there's going to be B-29s and P-61s that you could possibly run into. You know, so tier 7 is going to be on the worst end of that. Other than if you get in a tier 7 battle where you're top tier and you're in an IL-8, IL-10, or an ME-265, should do pretty well if you like those types of planes. Otherwise, yeah, life's going to be kind of a pain, right? It's hard to recommend tier 6 or below just because ground attackers tier 6 and below, even before something like an XP-54, was very difficult. It got picked on quite a bit. Tier 9 and tier 10, I certainly like tier 9 and tier 10 for my ground attackers. Yes, there are very strong heavy fighters at those tiers. That being said, your IL-40s, IL-40Ps, ME-1099s, and ME-1102s are very adept at defending themselves and at least surviving long enough to get 400 capture points as we did today. So 4 sectors captured, 94,000 ground damage, got all the medals and all the fun stuff. Got the medal that we needed to get, and that was about it. Unfortunately, just, you know, it's just been rough recently at tier 8, hasn't it? Well, hopefully one of these days Wargaming will do something about that. I know that's not going to be happening anytime soon with the war going on over there and Ukraine having to deal with everything that they're dealing with. It would be nice if we could get a rebalance at some point in the future. I'll hold my breath, but not for too long. IL-40, absolutely wonderful tier 9 ground attacker. Like most of the Soviet planes that you should be used to, very slow for its tier. Most Soviet planes are. I know the MiG line's different, but ground attackers are certainly the slower of the ground attacker lines. That being said, you have a lot of guns, right? 6 23mm cannons, a decent rear gunner for sure. You have 8 pretty darn nice rockets doing 16,000 damage combined, and 2 500-kilogram bombs doing 7,000 damage each. And so, you know, you've got a decent amount of ability to impose your will on the ground, right? Got bombs for the heavy targets, rockets for the medium targets, and guns for the light targets and some medium targets. I've gone ahead and put some pretty darn nice paint on here, 20% crew experience, plus it looks absolutely sweet. But if you wanted to go try hard mode, which I can't blame you, you can go ahead and get your normal concealment, AA tolerance, and tolerance from gunners options here. You could also just do universal paint, which will help with your concealment and your tolerance from AA gunners. Doesn't look nearly as good, but it's available there if you're trying to save some money. Getting the 20%, trying to help out my gunner and my pilot. I have a special pilot, Marina. Don't even ask me to pronounce her last name. She has some of those special skills. One of them is Supernova, increased damage caused by the bombs and rockets and their blast radius. And if you crash into the ground with Marina as your pilot, you will do damage to the ground equal to the amount of hit points that you have with your plane. So we're going to take a look at what my hit points are. And that's how much, if I crashed into a building, I would actually do that damage to the building, potentially capture a sector. Also has Femme Fatale, which gives you better chance of setting targets on fire, which is obviously incredibly important when you've got this kind of plane. And I've put Protection Expert on here, which increases durability and resistance to critical damage equipment by 40%, which we'll take a look at just how helpful that is in just a second. As far as my rear gunner is concerned, standard rear gunner kind of things. I typically, if I'm in a plane that's continually taking fire, I'll put defensive fire on. Plane like a ground attacker is pretty often being shot at, and if you're able to reduce the damage by 30% from those attacks, that's certainly helpful. Next, I'd recommend quick reflexes, just so your turret starts firing sooner. And then I want to go for Ballistics Expert, which will give me 10% range buff, but first you've got to get the armor, which gives you an additional burst length, which isn't bad, but the 10% is really what I'm going for here on the range. I will get that in something like 50 years. We'll see. The reason I've put Protection Expert on here is because of my equipment layout. My equipment is built for helping the hit points. First and foremost, put the reinforced airframe on here. That just increases the overall hit point pool. Some of the bonus characteristics are also very helpful as well. I've gone ahead and made this a flying tank. We've got reinforced skin. We've got the cockpit armor here. For the guns, I've put long gun barrels on here just to get the guns to be hitting something sooner rather than later. And last but not least, I've gone ahead and put the strength and hard points on here. Strength and hard points on this plane, I want the bombs and rockets reloading as quickly as possible. I don't care about the impact of the airspeed because your airspeed's not that great anyway. Consumables, I want to get my pilot and gunner back in as quickly as possible. Plane doesn't catch on fire all that often, and when it does, I've got enough health to soak it up. Manual engine restart to make sure that I'm not losing complete airspeed and falling out of existence. And universal ammo for both forward and rear firing, plus improved fragmentation. So that way I can do that extra damage with my bombs and rockets. So because I've built up my survivability so much, my overall hit point pool for this plane is 2,710. And so with the bonus here of the Supernova option, double my hit point pool amount of damage done to the ground. So I'm doing 5,400 damage if I crash into the ground. Obviously, I'm not trying to crash into the ground as often as possible. Lawn darts, notwithstanding. But if I know I'm going to die anyway, got a heavy fighter killing me but from behind, or something crazy's going on, might as well just crash into the ground and do that damage to a ground target right from there. Furthermore, my bombs and rockets damage output is significantly increased thanks to that Supernova, plus the improved fragmentation definitely is helping as well. Cumulative damage combined with the bombs and the rockets is over 37, almost I think 38,000 damage combined. Really quite nice. Resupply time 77 seconds. I know I can get that down even further. I do have ultimate equipment on here, but it's not fully spec'd out to 478. Last but not least, my guns are putting out over 1,000 damage per second, and on top of that, the range is super increased. So as you can see, some of the things that I must have re-rolled for helped with the damage output. You don't need gas operated action to still be effective with this plane. The long gun barrels I really like because you're moving so slow. If you're able to start hitting sooner, you're definitely able to be impacting the ground as much as possible in that kind of scenario, rather than waiting for a slightly shorter range. Obviously, the airspeed's negatively impacted, maneuverability is negatively impacted, but what are you going to do? You're in a Soviet ground attacker. It's not what I'm living my life for. I absolutely love the IL-40. Even before I put Marina in this plane, I used to fly it quite a bit. Still do. Obviously enjoy it for missions like the Flying Exterminator here. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Have you gone down this line? Is this a plane that you liked, or are you really happy to get to the IL-40P, which is basically this plane but even better? I'd love to hear your opinions. Is this a plane that you just never went back to, even if you did like it, because the IL-40P is so much better? We can continue the conversation down below in the comments, or I can catch up with you in my Discord. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.